Hey everyone, in this one we are going to see how to set up our own email server using Mailcow so that you can send unlimited emails without any restriction or limitation. So in order to proceed with this particular process, you should have two things ready. First is your domain name and second is your server. If you ask me, I have domain name which is 1yt.in and for DNS I am using Cloudflare. So it in your case the DNS can be anything. If you purchase domain on your, let's say, GoDaddy account or Namecheap account, your DNS will be on Namecheap or GoDaddy account. That's completely fine. We just need to add few records in the DNS. Apart from that, it doesn't matter which DNS provider you are using. So in my case, I am using Cloudflare. The second thing we need is obviously the VPS server. Okay, in order to create VPS server, I am using DigitalOcean. In your case, it can be anything. It can be, let's say, a Linode or Hesner or any server, right? But I will suggest use DigitalOcean because DigitalOcean allows port 25 to send emails. If you ask about the AWS or any other big cloud providers like Vultr, they block port 25. Only DigitalOcean, Contabo, and Husner on some conditions they allow to send emails from port 25, right? So without wasting time, let's get started. Let me create one server. So I'm going to choose little bit big server. Obviously, the location I'm going to choose is New York, and the OS I'm going to choose is Ubuntu 22.04 LTS. LTS stand for latest stable release. That's the version you should choose. And for plan, I'm going to go with the $24 plan, which is 2 GB RAM and 2 core processors. In your case, if you are hosting only email server, then you can go with the smaller plan also. But I'm going to choose the larger plan so that my process will be a little bit faster. Okay, so yeah, let me choose the $32 plan. Okay, so in the password field, let me enter my password. So just give me 2 seconds. Okay, the password is ready, and for the host name, I'm going to use my domain name, which is mail.1yt.in. So why should you add this mail.1yt.in as a host name? Because it creates the reverse DNS record, okay, or you can say kind of PTR record. So that helps to identify server or your mail server. Okay, so let's hit on the create droplet. It shouldn't take too much time. It will be ready within let's say a few seconds. Okay, meanwhile, let's do one thing. Let's open our DNS records, and here we need to add one record. So let me click on add a record, and I will type mail here. So as you can see on the top, it is auto completing mail.1yt.in. Next thing, we need to add a IP. So let's see if our droplet is created. Yes, it is created. Let's copy this particular IP address and let's paste it right here to create the record. So let me turn off the proxy because if I turn on the proxy, the mail will not work. So let me save it. Yeah, so we have the name record ready, which is mail.1yt.in pointed to our IP address, and the proxy is off. If you are using a DNS provider other than Cloudflare, you will not have this proxy option. You just need to add the name record for mail.1yt.in or mail.yourdomain.com, and obviously the IP address of your server. Okay, so let me minimize the these particular windows. Let me copy the IP address and let's open our terminal. So in obviously in the Windows we have the CMD, which is command prompt. You can just type CMD here, sorry, it's CMD here, and click here to open the command prompt. And next thing we do is SSH root at IP address to do login on in the server. So let me click on the yes, and let me type my password. Okay, so once you log in into the server, there are standard things that you should do, which is apt update to update your repositories, and the second thing you should do is apt upgrade to upgrade your packages in the server to the latest version. Okay, so let's do apt upgrade, and that should upgrade all of the packages in the server to the latest version. Okay, Okay, so as you can see on the screen, upgrade process has been completed. So let's do one thing. Let's clear the screen. Next thing we need to do is we need to install some apt packages. So let me check if I can make my terminal a little bit bigger. Yes, I can. So what I need to do is apt install curl, then wget, and then docker.io. These are the three things basically we need to install on our server. So let's hit enter and again hit enter to say yes, and let's wait until these things are getting installed. Okay, so the packages are installed. Let's clear the screen. Next thing we need to do is we need to install the Next thing we need to do is we need to install Docker Compose. For that, the command is this one. I will provide the command in the obviously in the description or in the link. So once you execute this particular command, next thing you need to do is you need to enter this command in order to change permission of the file. So once the permission of the file is changed, you can again copy this line and do ls and this then paste the full path, which is user slash usr local bin docker compose, right? So as you can see, we have the binary there. So let me clear everything on the screen. And next thing we need to do is obviously we need to get the Mailcow binary. So in order to get the Mailcow binary, we can get in the root directory also, but I will recommend go to the slash opt, and here as you can see I have these two folders. In your case it can be empty, but here we are going to clone the GitHub repository of the Mailcow. So for cloning GitHub repository, you can enter this particular command. I will be providing all commands in the link, so don't worry, don't rush. Okay, so cd into the Mailcow dockerized and do ls, and as you can see the docker compose file is there. Generate config file is also there. This is for generating configuration for docker compose. So let's dot slash generate config. Let's hit enter and it should ask some questions. So first question it is asking is hostname. So let's enter mail dot 1yt dot in your case it can be mail.yourdomain.com, whatever your domain is. Let me hit enter, and obviously you can change time zone here, but I will keep the default. Then available branches are master branch and nightly branch. Master branch is stable branch, so let me hit 1 and hit enter. It will obviously get the code, it will generate the certificates, and it will be done. Okay, so as you can see, this is how it will look once we generate the configuration. Okay, so let me clear this screen. Okay, if you want to make some custom changes, then only go for configuration changes or docker compose changes, else just follow the tutorial. Okay, next thing we need to do is obviously docker compose pull, that will pull all of the necessary docker images that we needed on our server in order to run the mail server. So let's wait for some time because it will take a little bit time to pull all the details. Okay, so as you can see, all images has been pulled and we are ready to go. So we can clear our screen, and finally we can enter the command docker compose up dash d. So let's type docker, sorry, compose up dash d. That will make sure that every container is running, and dash d means in detached mode. So let's hit enter, and as you can see on our screen it is creating the container and it is running the container. So let's give some time for this particular command to be complete. Okay, so as you can see the command is successfully completed and we have container started. Okay, so for quick check just clear the screen and do docker ps, and you will see list of the containers that are started. Okay, and everything is up. So as you can see right here it is showing up. So I have increased the size of my terminal, so let me make little bit smaller so that the list will appear clearly. So let me do docker ps once again, and as you can see the list is there. So every single container is running healthy, so that means we are ready to go. Okay, so next thing we need to do is minimize this particular terminal. Now we need to open the browser window. So let me open my test browser window right here. And we need to type mail.1yt.in and hit enter button. And that should open our web mail interface. Okay. Right now it is unsecured right here, but I think you should have the self-signed certificate. Let me just quickly verify. Okay, it is having self-sign. So okay, so when I go for HTTPS domain, it is showing me your clock is behind and my date time is not matching because the server's time zone we selected was the default one. But in my case, I have different time zones, so that's why this error is occurring. But this will only occur in the Windows if you are accessing. I don't think so in the Linux you will have that particular error. So let me quickly change the browser to Firefox and let me give one more try right here. So let me see if I am getting that error. Okay, so I'm not getting error. So I will continue with the Firefox right here. So let me just close the old browser and go to the Firefox. So here default login credentials is admin and Moohoo. Moohoo. That's the default credentials. So hit enter and that should log in. So let me show you again. This is the admin and Moohoo. That's are the credentials. Okay. Okay, so first thing we need to do is right now changing the password because our default password is Moho. So let's click on the system, click on the configuration, and here we will have the administrator account, which is admin, this one. Let's click on the edit and then let's try to change our password. So it is saying the password right here. For me, I will use the generated password here and save and update. Okay, so that will change our password. So that's the first thing we need to do. Next thing we need to do is we need to go to the email and click on the configuration. So let me just ignore, I guess. Yeah, let me ignore. So here in the email configuration we need to add the domain name here. So here we will add our domain name, which is 1yt.in. In your case, please add your own domain name. Here we have a lot of configuration, so if you are a beginner, just keep it default as it is. And here we need to enable this relay this domain and then click on the add domain and restart SOGO. Okay, so let's click on that and let's wait for some time, and that should be completed within few seconds. Okay, right now we have our domain name added right here. So let's click on quickly on this particular DNS blue button to add our record. This will generate the records for us and we can copy that particular record on our Cloudflare. We need to add those DNS record in the DNS. In my case, I'm using Cloudflare. So I will add those record in the Cloudflares, right? So obviously the first record is added already. That's why we have tick. The second PTR record is also added in my case. That's why there is a tick. So you can open this particular uh, DNS center, or let's say DNS for your provider. In my case, we have the Cloudflare, but it can, in one case, it can be Namecheap or GoDaddy. So as you can see, I don't have PTR record added. Still, I got this check. Why? Because when I created this server on the DigitalOcean, I added the hostname as a mail.1yt.in. So that's why it is showing check there. That means the record is there. Okay. So either we can add the PTR record manually, or we can add the hostname while creating the server so that the PTR record will be automatically generated. Okay. Next thing obviously we need to do is we need to add these records. Okay, so let's open copy this particular name right here, and obviously it's a TLSA record and the values are this one. So let me just open my Cloudflare account, click on add record. Here I need to find TLSA, then provide my value. I will remove one yt.in from the end, uh, and it will look something like this. Okay, underscore 25 dot underscore TCP mail. This is how it will look like. Then we have 331, and then we have some kind of string. So 331 we need to type here 3 I think it was 311, right? Yeah, 311. So let me type 311, and here we need to type this particular random string. So it's not random string, it's a kind of token. So let me enter my token right here. This is the token, and let me save it. Okay. Next thing we need to do is we need to create mx record for 1yt.in to mail.1yt.in. Okay, so let me add right here mx, select the ms. I will mention at. So when I mention at, it is taking the record name as a 1yt.in. Okay, in your case the at option is not available, then you can type your own domain name. The priority says we will keep the 0. I think it is 0. Yeah, we will keep the 0, and we will save it. That's our mx record. Then we need to add the cname record for auto discover. So let's copy this word auto discover, and click on the add record, then type cname right here, and type this auto discover. It will auto complete auto discover.1yt.in, and obviously the value is mail.1yt.in. So let me just copy, turn off the proxy. In your case, if you are using Cloudflare, you need to turn off the proxy. If it is not Cloudflare, then you can continue as it is, right? Then there is a auto discover .tcp record. Let's copy this particular record, and save as a srv record, right? So let me go for add record right here, and let me type srv. By the way, this record is not compulsory, this record is optional. As you can see, it is completing right here. This record is obviously optional, but yeah, you can add it. Okay, for priority, I don't think so they are giving any values right here. So I will just copy my own values in the priority. In the priority list, I will add the 10. In the weight also, I will add the 10. TTL will be auto, and port is 443, and the value is this one, mail.1yt.in. In your case, it will be mail.yourdomain.com. So let me save it. Next thing we need to add is autoconfig record for cname. I think this record is okay. So it was auto discover, then we have autoconfig. Great. So let me just go ahead. Let's type cname, type autoconfig, then mail dot 1yt dot in, which is my domain name. Turn off the proxy, save it. Okay. Then we have the SPF record. We need to check SPF syntax for that, and it's a txt record. So let me open this link. So here, as you can see, it is showing some fancy stuff. Okay, so this is the record, which one? This one that we need to add. Okay, so let me go ahead back, click the txt record, and say add, which will add 1yt.in, and add this particular record right here. So let me save it. Then if I go back, I have the dmarc account record, right? So let me click on this link again, and let me see how to get the dmarc record. Okay, so we need to add our domain, which is 1yt.in. For policy type, we select none, and in this place we add dmarc at 1yt.in, and click on generate record. That should generate record for us. So in our case, the record value is this one, and record will be published at dmarc.1yt.in. So let me go ahead. Let's click on the txt, type the record, which is dmarc, and obviously the value is going to be this one, the whole string. So let me save it. Remove the spaces, and let me save it. Okay, so one last record we need to add, which is dkim record. So this is the dkim record right here, so which is dkim domain key. Okay, let's copy this particular record. Go to our DNS, let's click on add. I think it's a text record, right? Yeah, it is. So let's type txt, select enter here, and let's copy this particular whole string and paste it in the box. So this is our record. Okay, so we have all record ready and we are ready to go. So we can click on the cross button and we can again click on the DNS button. It will try to scan the all the records and it will show if all records are updated or not. So as you can see, I am getting dash okay, 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 okay for every record except these two records. And but I'm getting right here the 2 and 2. For 2, it is saying this record is optional. Okay, so that's why it is showing there. But yeah, we have added the record. So great. Next thing we need to do is we need to create the mailbox. So let's click on the mailboxes right here and hit the mailbox button, the first one, right? Then add a mailbox, and here we need to create the user. For me, I'm going to create info, or let's say info. We will add a full name as a info only. For password, we will use this randomly generated password. Um and here also we need to add that password. Okay, so same password is there. Then you can set the limits here, but hence it is testing, I will not set any limits here. And let's click on the add. Okay, so that should add my record. So let me update the records right here. So once we have the record added, one last thing we need to do is create the alias. So if you remember, in demarc record, we have created this we have added the this email here, dmark at 1yt.in, right? So we need to create the alias for that particular record. So let me add the ready alias, which is this one, and it needs to be forwarded to mail, sorry, info, I think info. Okay, and let me click on the add alias. So that's the only thing I need to do. Apart from that, everything is done. Next thing we need to do is we need to access the webmail. So here, if I click on drop down, this is the webmail. Let me right click on it and open into the new tab. So this is our webmail interface. Okay, great. So here we will add the info and info at 1yt.in. That's our full username and the password whatever we added. Okay, let me click on the login, and as you can see, it is logged in right now, and I have my email inbox ready. And obviously I have some settings option also here. If I go, I have address book also. Here I have calendar also, so that I can add the events and that stuff. But yeah, that's all. And here we need to select the email. So for this particular email test, first email, we are going to send email to email tester. Okay, so let's say mail tester on Google, and this is the site we want. This is the mail tester. Let's copy this particular email, and let's try to send email. Okay, write message to new window, write new message. Okay, so here to this one, and we will add subject and body. So let me add my subject, which is you are invited to nice party, and let me add my party details. So this is my email. Okay, and I can add best regards and that stuff. I'm basically copying this email from somewhere on the internet. Okay, so I will say abhi. Okay, let me send this particular email. So it's sending. So let's wait for some time. Your email has been sent. Great. Go to this particular mail tester, click on then check your score. And it is showing my score is 10 out of 10, which is obviously a really great thing. And yeah, this is how we can set up our email server, and we got 10 out of 10 our email score, sending score. Okay, that's all for this particular video. If you have any questions, please put in the comments box, or if you are facing any issue, please put in the comment box. If you need any assistance with your installation of the email server, then obviously you can hire me on the hire.fluxxset.com. You will see link in the description, where you can book the slot, and I can assist you on your project, or I can do work for you as a freelancer on your project, right? So yeah, that's all for this particular video. If you like this particular video, please consider liking, hitting like button and hitting subscribe button. And thanks for watching. See you in the next.